Every show should start with a fanfare.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. I told Barbara we could fit everybody in with a good sideline, and we did. So great.
Right.
I don't believe in long curtain speeches, so I'll just say these are some fine actors. We're doing some of the most iconic scenes from both movies and plays, and I'll simply say, enjoy.
Tell me about George Raft.
George Raft? If I tell you about George Raft, you're going to tell me you don't believe me.
I believe you. I believe every word you say. So tell me how you met George Raft.
You heard it 100 times.
Well, I know, but each time it just gets a little better. So
The night I danced with him, I committed a sin. I knew God was going to punish me for it, and he did. You pay for your sins.
what sin did you commit?
The day before I was going to the Primrose, my Aunt Zipper died. My mother's sister. The next morning, the whole family went to the funeral. I took the day off from work, and that night we all went to my aunt's house to sit in mourning. But I knew that night George Raft was coming to the Primrose. He was a friend of the owners, and he promised he would come. I never dreamed he would dance with me. I just wanted to watch him. But in the back of my head, I thought, maybe if he sees me dance, who knows, he might ask me to get up on the floor with him. He wasn't even an actor yet. Just a skinny kid who looked like Rudolph Valentino. But the best ballroom dancer in New York. And to dance with him made you queen of the city.
Did he flip a coin like he does in the movie?
Nah, never. But he always smoothed down his hair with his right hand. Every 2 minutes, smoothing his hair down. It got so shiny you could see your face in it when you danced.
So you went to the dance then?
I told my mother I wasn't feeling well. I told her I threw up in the bathroom, which wasn't true. So she sent me home. I knew she and Pop and the girls wouldn't be home until midnight. So I ran home, changed my dress, and went to the Primrose with my girlfriend, Adele Abrams. And all the time I knew that God was going to punish me for this. I kept saying to Adele on the way over, I wish I was Catholic. Then I could go to church, confess my sins, and God would forgive me. But I knew I just committed another sin by wishing I was Catholic. I was throwing my whole life away for this one evening with George Raft.
Did you have a crush on him?
On George Raft? Are you crazy? He was Italian. I was in enough trouble already. He wasn't my type anyway. Your father was the one I had to crush on. Since I was 13 years old. He was 5 years older than me. He went with a whole other crowd. In those days, young people didn't tell each other they had crushes on them. You had to guess. So you sent messages with your eyes, your face, the way you walked by them.
How did you walk by him?
Not too much, not too little. But he was hard to figure out. He was never a show-off, never a fancy man. He didn't smile a lot. But when he did, you knew he meant it. Most boys smiled at everything. They thought it gave him a good personality. Jack was too honest to put on a good personality. He was what he was. And to get a smile from Jack Jerome, you knew you had to earn it. But it cost him plenty. The smilers got to be the salesmen, they got to be the bosses. The smilers got all the girls. Your father paid the price for not being a phony. It was so hard to impress him. That's why I went to the Primrose that night. I thought if Jack heard that I danced with George Raft, maybe I'd get him to notice me.
This is a movie. There's a whole movie in this story, Mom. And one day, I'm going to write it.
So that night, in the pouring rain, me and Adele Abrams went to the Primrose. My hair got soaking wet. I lost my curls. I wanted to die. But then I got a brilliant idea. Instead of curling it and drying it, I combed it straight down. Left it wet. Jet black hair. I looked like Aladdin from Manhattan. The perfect partner for George Raft. When I walked out of the ladies' room, my own friends didn't recognize me.
I can't believe this is my mother you're talking about.
Don't worry. I knew God was going to punish me for the wet hair, too. 10 boys must have asked me to dance. But I said no to all of them because I didn't want to tire myself out. Then I started to get scared because it was 10 after 11 and he still didn't show up. If I wasn't home by 12, my parents would know that I lied to them. They would walk in and find out, and with my mother, I didn't need God to punish me.
12 o'clock. Cinderella. This story has everything.
And then, at 20 after 11, he walks in, like the King of Spain. He had 2 friends with him, on either side, one on each side like bodyguards. And I swear, there was something in their inside pockets. I said to myself, either they have guns or more jars of grease for his hair. My heart was beating louder than the drummer in the band.
She actually had a sense of humor. This was a side of my mother I never really got to see. So, he walks with these 2 guys.
So he walks in with these 2 friends, and I know I don't have much time. So I grabbed Bobby Zugetti, a shoe salesman who is the best dancer at the Primrose, and I said, Bobby, dance with me. I knew he had a crush on me, and I never gave him a tumble before. He didn't know what hit him. So out on the floor we went. We foxtrotted from one side of the ballroom and back, in and out, bobbing and weaving, through the crowd, gliding across the floor like a pair of ice skaters.
Begin to begin. Or maybe night and day. That's what I would use for the picture.
And I never once looked over to see if George Raft was looking at me. I wanted to get his attention. I didn't want to give him mine. The music finishes, and Bobby dips me down to the floor. It was a little lower than a nice girl should dip, but I figured one more sin wouldn't kill me. And I walk over to Adele, and I say, I'm dripping with perspiration. I say, well, did he watch me? And she says, it's hard to tell. His eyes don't move. So I look over, and he's sitting at the table with his 2 friends, and Adele is right. His eyes don't move. And it's 25 to 12, and he's never even noticed me. And I said to myself, well, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And Adele and I started for the door.
The tension mounts. The audience is on the edge of their seats.
And as we pass their table, George Raft stands up and says, excuse me. And he's looking right at Adele Abrams. He says, could I ask you a question, please? Adele is shaking like a leaf. And she walks over to him.
Adele? He's talking to Adele Abrams?
And he says, I wonder if your friend would care to dance with me. And she says, you want me to ask her? And he says, please, I'm a little shy.
I don't believe it. I mean, I don't believe George Raft actually said that.
I swear to God, may I never live to see another day.
I mean, even if it's true, it's out of the picture. An audience would never believe him.
Fine. So Adele says, I'll ask her. So she comes back and asks me, and I look at him, and he smiles at me. And his eyes moved for the first time. Not fresh or anything, but he had the look of a man of confidence, and I never saw that before. Scared the life out of me. So I walk over to him, and he takes my hand, and he leads me out onto the floor. Everyone in the Primrose is watching. Someone, even the band, someone had to whisper, stop playing, so they would begin. And they began. And we danced around that room. And I held my head high and my back straight as a board. And I looked up at the ceiling and down at the floor. I saw a professional do that once. Never looked in his eyes. His hands were so gentle. Hardly touching me at all. But I knew exactly what he wanted me, when he wanted me to move, and which way he wanted me to turn.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What are you doing?
I want you to show me how you danced.
Show you how I danced? 35 years ago? I don't even walk like I did 35 years ago.
Come on. Dance every year with Pop at the Garment Industry Affair. Just show me how you dance with George Raff.
They danced differently in those days. They don't even do those steps anymore.
Not a whole dance, just one or two steps. One turn. There, listen. This song is perfect. So, she moved you gently across the floor.
Stop it, Eugene. I'm not in the mood.
Come on, I'll dance with you. I'm George Raft. Everybody's watching us. Don't let them down. So graceful. I never knew you were so graceful. There's Adele Abrams. She's wonderful.
Now turn me.
How?
Just let go.
What did he say to you?
And then it was over.
He didn't even ask your name?
I didn't ask for his name. Why should he ask me for mine? My God, I'm drenched in perspiration. In the middle of winter. I don't know how I let you make me do these things.
Because you liked him. Why do you always stop doing the things that make you feel good?
What's the matter? Raising you and Stanley wasn't something that made me feel good.
There's other things than raising a family, Mom.
Yeah, so I heard. All right, I want you in bed and no more back talk.
You didn't even finish the story. Did you get home before 12?
No, the trolleys were running late. I came in almost 12:30.
What did your mom and pop say?
They didn't know. They decided to sleep over at her sister's house. Only Aunt Blanche came home and she was fast asleep. I didn't tell anybody what I did. But in 2 days, the news was all over the neighborhood. People were congratulating my mother. Oh, they treated her like her daughter was a movie star. She was angry with me. She knew she couldn't say anything. When I saw my grandmother, she winked at me, squeezed my hand and said, "I know, darling, I know." So, now do you believe I danced with George Raft?
Yeah, I believe you.
Gosh, I'm exhausted. Never ask me that question again. Telling the story was harder than dancing with it.
I think what you did that night was great. And you didn't get caught, so God didn't punish you. The movie has a happy ending.
The movie isn't over yet.
One of the funniest sex scenes that have ever hit the silver screen is the scene Who Could Get From When Harry Met Sally. Who knows what scene I'm talking about? Right. Well, this is our little version of it.
So what do you do with all these women? You just get out of bed and leave?
Sure.
Well, explain to me, how do you do it? What do you say?
You say, I got an early meeting, I got a squash game, I got a haircut.
You don't play squash.
They don't know that. They just met me.
That's disgusting.
I know. I kind of feel terrible.
You know, I'm so glad I never got involved with you. I just would have ended up being some business, some women that you had to get out of bed and leave at 3 o'clock in the morning to go fix your andirons. And you don't even have a fireplace. Not that I would have noticed.
Why are you so upset? This is nothing about you.
Yes, it is. You are a human affront to all women. And I am a woman.
Well, I don't really feel great about it, but nobody's complaining.
Of course not. You're out the door too fast.
I think they have an okay time.
How do you know?
I know.
Because they...
Yeah, because they...
And how do you know they're really...
What are you saying, that they fake an orgasm?
It's possible.
Get out of here.
Why? Most women at one time or another have faked it.
Well, they haven't faked it on me.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Oh, right. That's right. I forgot. You're a man.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It's just that all men are sure it's never happened to them. And that most women at one time or another have faked it. So you do the math.
You think I could not tell the difference?
No.
Get out of here. You burn.
Oh God. Oh God.
Are you
Oh God. Oh. Oh God. Oh. 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 I'll have what she's having. Not much.
Let's hear it for Cheryl. I think she's had a lot of practice. I don't know about faking or not, but. The next scene is longer. From the iconic, truly iconic movie Doubt, and Meryl Streep plays a assertive nun accusing her pastor of sexually abusing a boy. Doubt.
May I come in?
A third party would be required.
Yeah. What was Donald's mother doing here?
We were having a chat.
About what?
A third party would truly be required, Father.
No, sister, no third party.
Me and you were due for a talk.
Yeah, because you have to stop this campaign against me.
You can stop it at any time.
How?
Confess and repent.
You are attempting to destroy my reputation.
What are you doing in this school?
I'm trying to do good.
What are you doing, even more to the point, in the priesthood?
You are single-handedly holding this school back and this parish back.
From what?
progressive education, a welcoming church.
You can't distract me, Father. This is not about my behavior, it's about yours.
No, this is about your unfounded suspicion.
That's right. I have suspicions.
And why do you suspect me? What have I done?
You gave that boy wine, and you made him take the blame.
That is completely untrue. Did you talk to Mr. Gwynn?
All Mr. Gwynn knows is that the boy drank wine. He doesn't know how he came to drink it.
Did his mother have something to add to that?
No,
So that's it?
I am not satisfied.
Ask the boy then.
He'd protect you
And why would he do that?
because you have seduced him.
You are insane. You've got it in your head that I corrupted this child, giving him wine, and nothing I will say will change that?
That's right.
But this has nothing to do with the wine. Not really. You've had a fundamental mistrust of me before this incident. It was you that warned Sister James to be on the lookout, wasn't it?
That's true.
So you admit it.
Certainly.
Why?
I know people.
That is not good enough.
It won't have to be.
Then how's that?
You will tell me what you've done.
Oh, I will? Sister James is convinced I am innocent.
Oh, so you talked to Sister James. Well, of course you talked to Sister James.
Did you know that Donald's father beats him?
Yes,
And you don't think that that might have something to do with it?
it might.
Then what is it? What? What did you hear? What did you see that convinced you so thoroughly?
What does it matter?
It matters. It really matters. Are you serious?
I saw out this window. I saw you grab William London's wrist, and I saw him pull away.
Again, are you serious?
I am.
That's nothing.
That was enough. What are you doing now?
I'm going to start taking notes because I'm going to need all of this written down when I have to explain why you have to be removed.
This morning, before I spoke with Mrs. Miller, I took the precaution of calling your last parish.
And what did he say?
Who?
The pastor.
I didn't speak to the pastor. I spoke to a nun.
You should have spoken to the pastor.
I spoke to a nun.
You know that that is not the proper route for you to have taken, sister. You know that the church is very clear, very clear. You're supposed to go through the pastor.
Why? You have an understanding, you and he?
No, you have no right rummaging through my past.
You have a history. This is your third parish in 5 years.
Call the pastor.
Why?
Call the pastor.
I'm not calling the pastor.
I'm perfectly innocent. I am a good priest.
Go after another child and another until you are stopped.
What nun did you speak to?
I won't say. I will not let you go on molesting children.
I have never touched a child.
You have.
You haven't the slightest proof.
No. But I have my certainty. And armed with that, I'll go to your last parish and the one before that. If necessary, I'll find a parent. Trust me, Father Flynn, I will.
You have no right to act on your own. You have taken vows, and obedience being one of those. You have no right to step outside the church.
I will step outside the church if that's what needs to be done, though the door should shut behind me. I will do what needs to be done, though I'm damned to hell. You should understand that, or you will mistake me. Now, did you give Donald Miller wine to drink?
Have you never ever done anything wrong?
I have,
Mortal sin?
yes.
There's a couple of doggy treats in this for you.
This military tribunal is now in order.
Colonel, if you gave an order that Santiago wasn't to be touched, and your orders are always followed, then why would he be in danger? Why would it be necessary to transfer him off base?
Private Santiago was a substandard private. He was being transferred off the base because
That's not what you said. You said he was being transferred because he was in grave danger.
that's correct. But
You said that he's in grave danger.
I recall what
I can have the court reporter read back your
I know what I said. I don't need you to damn read me back the thing. I'm not a damn.
And why the two orders? Colonel, why did you?
Sometimes men have to take matters into their own hands.
No, sir. You made it clear that your men never took matters into their own hands. Your men followed orders or people die. So Santiago shouldn't have been in any danger, should he have, Colonel?
You bastard.
If Kendrick told his men that Santiago wasn't to be touched, then why did he have to be transferred? Colonel? Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? That's because what you told that's what you told Kendrick to do. And when it went bad, you doctored the logbooks. I'll ask for the fourth time. You ordered.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls. And those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant? I have greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago, and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth. Because deep down, in places you don't talk about at parties, you want beyond that wall. You need me there. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use those words as a backbone to a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I prefer you just say thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand the post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think. You're entitled to.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job you sent me to do.
Did you order the code red?
You're goddamn right I did.
May it please the court, I suggest the jury be dismissed so that we can move to an immediate Article 39A session. The witness has rights, like to remain silent.
I am being charged with a crime. This is funny. This is, goddamn you.
Hello, everyone. We are in this beautiful home. I'm so happy to be here with probably one of the, well, I would say one of the best dressed women in Napa. Dr. Nemko, I don't know which that probably I'm getting into yet another costume. I'm going to do a scene from Love, Loss, and What I Wore, which was written by Nora and Delia Ephron. And I'm playing the part of Rosie. And here we go. The truth is, I have no fashion sense. Never did. Now, for many years, I blamed this on my mom's death. And then again, I blamed pretty much everything on that. You know, my weight, my addiction to television, my inability to spell. And in my fantasy world, my mother lived. And if she had, I would be extremely well dressed. I would know what went with what, and everything I tried on, it would fit. And mom and we would go places and we would shop, shop together, the way that moms and daughters often do. And we go to like a department store or the mall or, the flea market, whatever. And I would wear a lot of tasteful makeup too. We would lunch someplace while shopping, and like we would be at a cafe and we would have a salad and we would like it. Yeah. We'd laugh about how great our lives were going and how they turned out, and we'd make plans for the things we're gonna still do. But that's all a dream. See, because my mother did not live, she died when she was 39 years old. Now, the fact is that there is no item of clothing that has ever moved me in any way, except one. After my mom died, see, my father, he thought it was best to take his 5 motherless children to Belfast, Northern Ireland. I guess he thought that the best way to recover was to take us all to some war zone. So there we were. The IRA, why, they were nowhere near as scary as what we'd already lived through. But when we returned, we found my mom's side of the closet was completely empty. Everything, just gone. All the clothes were gone. Yeah, gone. A few years later, my dad, he married. Yeah, he married a lovely woman. Her name was Mary May. She was a local school teacher. And after the wedding, she moved in. It was all very nice. And that first morning, when she was there, we were all having breakfast, my brothers and sisters and I. And my new stepmom, she walked down the stairs, and there she was in the kitchen wearing this robe. And no one said a word. We all looked at each other, just kind of knew. And then we kind of knew as she went kind of happily over making the tea that this would be the first time that any of us were going to talk about our mom since she had died. So there she was in this exact same bathrobe as my mother, except hers was in green, like this electric green. My mom's had been blue. What are the chances of that? I don't know. But that morning, that rule about talking about my mom, that was going to be broken, completely broken. My siblings left the kitchen, but I stayed. And I was alone with Mary, and I said, Mary, my mom had the same bathrobe in blue. Oh, she said, oh. And I don't know how long it was, but soon after that, that robe disappeared. It was gone. Sent away to the same place that my mother's clothes went, I assume. And to this very day, that is the only piece of clothing I can actually see in my mind. I have no visuals of prom dresses or favorite sweaters or shoes or any kind of clothing. Clothes are just something I use for cover. Leaving room for one electric green bathrobe.
I don't know about you guys, but I have never seen a time in my life when more people are under stress and on a hair trigger. And I'm looking at Susan, who is my cafe companion every morning at 7:30, whatever. And it's an island of sanity amid the chaos. Some of it's politics, but some of it is just life. And I think probably no movie did a better job of encapsulating that feeling than one that was made 30 years ago. It was the movie Network. This is the iconic monologue scene.
3, 2, 1. You're on.
This is how it feels with tonight's TV editorial. I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everyone knows things are bad. Everyone's scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a quarter's worth. Shopkeepers keep their guns under the counter. Punks are running wild in the streets and nobody anywhere seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides, 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy. So we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller. And always say, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my TV and my iPhone. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't know what to do about inflation, the Russians, the crime. All I know is you first gotta get mad. You gotta say, I'm a human being. God damn it, my life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want you to get up now out of your chairs. I want you to get up now and look out that window. Open it. Stick your head out and yell, I am mad as hell and I am not going to take it anymore.
As Emily gets ready, I'll just introduce, we're going to do a scene from Angels in America. This is the Millennium Approaches Act 3, Scene 4, with Emily playing a character named Hannah, and I'm a homeless woman. So please take yourself out of this beautiful home and join us in an empty lot, strewn with garbage and other things that detritus, as they say. Angels in America.
Excuse me. I said, excuse me. Can you tell me where I am? Is this Brooklyn? Do you know a Pineapple Street? Is there some sort of bus or train? I'm lost. I just arrived from Salt Lake City, Utah. I took the bus, but I was told to take it and then get off. Well, it was the very last stop, so I had to get off, and I asked the driver, was this Brooklyn? And he nodded, yes. But he was from one of those foreign countries where they think it's good manners to nod at everything, even when you have no idea what you're nodding at. And in truth, I think he spoke no English at all, which I think would make him ineligible for employment on public transportation. The public being English speaking mainly. Do you speak English? I was supposed to be met at the airport by my son. He didn't show up. And I don't wait more than 3 3/4 hours for anyone. I should have been patient, I guess. Is this?
Bronx.
Is that the Bronx? Well, how in the name of heaven did I get to the Bronx? When the driver said,
Slurp. Slurp. Will you stop that disgusting slurping, you disgusting slurping, feeding, animal feeding yourself, just feeding yourself. What would it matter to you or to anyone if you just stopped feeding and you died?
can you just tell me where I am?
I was the Kosciuszko Bridge, named after a Polak.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was a joke.
Well, then, what's the punchline?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Is there anyone else?
Ah, stand further off, you fat, loathsome whore. You can't have any other sleep. No. Sir, you're an animal. You're in the... I know. You're just gonna go pee it all away. That's what... And then what will you do? Behind that bush? Why, you fucking cold out there. And then... Oh, that's right. We're supposed to have been a tunnel. That's not very funny. Have you read the prophecies of Nostradamus? Nostradamus, he was some guy I went out with. Oh, prophet, outcast, eyes like, oh, scary shit. Yeah, he was.
Shut up, please. Now, I want you to stop that jabbering for a minute. Pull your wits together and tell me how to get to Brooklyn. Because you know. And you are going to tell me. Because there's no one else around to tell me. And I am wet. And I'm cold. And I am very angry. So I'm sorry you're psychotic. But just don't make it up. Do it. Take a deep breath. Do it. Breathe in. Now breathe out. Good. Now, how do I get to Brooklyn?
Don't know. Never been. Sorry. Want some soup?
Manhattan, maybe you know. I don't suppose you know the location of the Mormon Visitor
Oh,
Center.
65th and Broadway. I go there all the time. Free movies, boring, but you can stay all day.
Well, so how do I?
So you take the D train, and then it's the next block, and then you make a right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the new century, I think we're all gonna be insane.
When I was growing up, I kind of looked up the companies. IBM, AT&T, Apple Computer. But in recent decades, one of the media's whipping boys is corporation. And probably the movie that spawned a lot of that was Wall Street. With this unbelievably materialistic, shallow guy who only gave a shit about money. Gordon Gecko. Well, in this scene, Gordon is welcoming a not quite yet hard-bitten corporate citizen.
They say that life comes down just a few moments. Hope this is one of them.
What the hell's going on? I'm looking at 200,000 shares move, pal. I want to know if we're part of it. We better be, or I'm going to come and eat your lunch for you. Sorry, Jeff. Look, I loved it at 40. It's an insult at 50. Their analysts don't know preferred stock from livestock. Wait till they head south. Let me raise a sperm count on the deal. Get back at you. Hey, Jerry, I'm looking for negative control. No more than 30 to 35%. Just enough to block anybody else's merger plans and find out if the books are cooked. If it looks as good as on paper, we're in the kill zone, pal. Lunch? You kidding? Lunch is for wimps. Okay, Billy, I'll talk at you.
How do you do, Mr. Gecko? I'm Bud Fox.
So you say. Nice to meet you. Hope you're intelligent. So what's on your mind, Kimosabi? Why am I listening to you? I gotta monitor my blood pressure, so don't upset me.
Oh, no, sir.
In seconds, the microprocessor computes your systolic and diastolic pressure. Got an LD readout, cost effective. Less than one visit to a doctor.
I just want to let you know, Mr. Gecko, I've read everything about you and my NYU business, and it's always been my dream to work for somebody just like you.
What firm are you with?
Jackson Steinman. They're going places. Good jump bond department.
You did the financing on the Janssen investment?
Yeah, and I'm working on some other stuff too.
Cosmetic company by any chance? Are you the 12th man on a deal team?
I can't tell you that, Mr. Gecko.
So what do you got for me, sport?
So here's the sharp breakout on White Young Industries, and their earnings are explosive, and they got a 30% discount from book, great cash flow, and a couple of 5% holders.
It's a dog.
Strong management too.
It's a dog, pal. You got anything else?
No.
How many of you remember the old movie, It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah.
How many of you have ever wondered whether you are irrelevant? Whether you won't be missed, where you're not needed? Anybody? Well, I'm the only one. Well, this is the scene in which George Bailey, the hero, is feeling like he wouldn't be missed. It's a Wonderful Life.
George, what are you doing here?
I thought I'd just stop and say, goodbye.
Goodbye. You're not leaving, are you?
Well, I'm kind of in a hurry. I just want to make sure you're okay.
No, I don't think you're in such a hurry. What's this about you leaving town? You can't leave now, George. We need you here.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about it. Things aren't exactly the way I expected it around here.
George, you don't need to leave.
I just don't know, Mary. I've got all these dreams and plans, and it feels like they're not going to happen. I thought I could get out of here and do something big.
George, you don't have to leave to make your dreams come true.
Maybe, but I wanted to do something with my life, something that would make me feel like I did something important.
George, you are important. You've done so much for this town and for me. You don't have to prove anything.
I don't know, Mary. Maybe you're right.
Ring, 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 ring.
That's the high-tech special effects.
Hello? Huh? Oh, no. I see. Yes, we'll be right there. That was the hospital, George. They said you need to come down. It's your father. He's had a stroke.
What? Oh no, my father?
George, come on. We'll go right away. Come on.
Yes. Another closing, another show.
We'd love to give you, you gotta know.